Welcome. We are each responsible for the way that we impact the world, and our impact forms from the way that we understand our experiences. So we must be aware and choose the most elevated way of understanding so that we can have the greatest impact in the world. In this video, I'm going to talk about transcending old default paradigms that limit our minds and about seeing, interpreting, and understanding unlimited possibilities that are available in our world despite what current circumstances might look like. We must free our minds to build solutions from a greater context of understanding. Then later, I will talk about overcoming obstacles and distractions that interfere with understanding the powerful impact that we can have and the solutions that we can find. I'm Dr. Lynette Wiest, and you're watching Wisdom's Peaceful Harmony. And if you want to be sure to be notified of future videos, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notification bell. And if you like this video, please click the like button. So powerful purpose can be created in every circumstance and every experience. And any seeming obstacles can be transcended. Our impact must not be from a reaction of fear. We must impact the world with love. Knowing about love is a start, but to transcend the old patterns and the old types of solutions, we must transform our minds and actions so that we not only know about love, but that we design our thoughts and design our actions and our lives as expressions of love. In this way, we can create the highest forms of safety, freedom, and security for all. What does this mean and how do we do this? Well, all love is already in each of us. Love created us. The only thing in the way of being the loving selves that we are created to be are obstructions or blinders that we grabbed onto over time and need to let go of. Things like greed, doubt, lack of empathy, arrogance, and fear. No one else is to blame if we limit ourselves with obstructions, rather than elevating our power and our confidence in love and all of love's ingredients. For example, an attitude of scarcity creates fear, and a mind of greed induces hoarding, keeping things from others. But when we understand any kind of difficult situation with a mind of love, then we have an expanded context of understanding beyond the physical experience. The expanded context assures us that the possibilities of love's power are endless. Solutions exist where we didn't know that they did. And opportunities can be found in every situation. So how do we do this? When we're ignorant about love, then we become arrogant. But when we are honest and humble, we become wise. With wisdom, we can acknowledge that we can't know the full meaning of anything. Always, we must be curious about what love is capable of in every situation, beyond our current understanding right now. We must look beyond what we see physically or what we feel physically. The more love that we manifest into the world, the more we transform ourselves. We are in this world to create this world. And when we see through the purifying filter of unconditional love, our perceptions and understandings bring power and purpose to everything, knowing that everything is a part of a unified system. When we don't operate in this way, we blind ourselves. Love creates strength. When love creates our thoughts, we orient and connect to the power of unity. It's strength. This power transcends the ideas that created division and separation. Now, a warning. When we seek to transcend earlier contexts of comprehending our world, then any issues in the way of transcending will appear bigger than before. They will be magnified. They don't get bigger, but they appear bigger. And this serves us to increase our awareness of what to let go of or what to better understand. Here is a purely physical example. It's not really about love, but it makes the point of holding on to or letting go of a limited mind. Decades ago, the understanding about flying an airplane was oriented around a limited fact. The fact was that airplanes are heavier than air. So the understanding was that planes can't fly. The Wright brothers refused to believe limited context that the mainstream had created. The mainstream had oriented around a limited fact. But the Wright brothers went beyond the limited fact of circumstance and trusted imagination until they discovered possibility and a greater understanding of a context. We must see limiting facts as a signal of something to solve, or something to heal, or something to let go of, not as a roadblock. Otherwise, old default contexts and understandings freeze us in place like a glass ceiling. Without transcending to a context of love, ignorance, division, and fear will pull us back and limit our interpretation and our understanding of the world and of our lives. The power of empathy and unconditional compassion for all life, this power lives in a context that transcends limited contexts of helplessness and fear. If we don't live as loving beings, then we become a reaction to what appears as limits, as helplessness and fear, and we limit the entire context of our lives. Do we look for how we are being prepared for purposes that transcend our current reality? By seeing the greater context and possibilities for your love, you are protected from the limits of fear. See all others in this context. If someone is dangerous, protect your mind and your body, but also protect your heart with love. Don't use fear or judgment to decide how to understand someone in a limited way. Use the elevated perception of love and see an elevated, greater context in which they are, beyond just the current physical information. We must let go of any false safety that we believe in, like the false ideas that we must win at the cost of another, at the cost of another's loss. We have to acknowledge that what we do to another, we do to ourselves because we are all interrelated. If you cut off your right hand, the left hand will pay a price too. When tempted to attack, recontextualize to a context of love. We cannot see the love in others until we understand and trust the love within ourselves. If we only see love through eyes that say that love is conditional or earned, we will always fear love. We will fear that it doesn't have the ability to show up. We won't be able to trust love, and we won't think that it has enough power. We have to believe that we are each expressions of love, even before we have the physical proof that this is so. Otherwise, fear will distract us from the power of love. Using fear to see others sets you up to feel controlled by them. Control your mind by using the wisdom of love from your heart, and then your mind of love, let that direct your life. Don't be a reaction of fear, be an impact of love. Fear is limiting and ignorant. Love is wise and it transforms all life. When we sense fear, it is a sign that we have clouded our senses. Even in situations where short-sighted human eyes cannot see peace, a mind filled with love's truth can confidently know the internal peace and unity that is always unfolding. It's always unfolding, even when we can't see it. Arrogance says that we can be wise and see the grand scheme of life without using love to understand the world. Arrogance is a distraction from love. It believes that it doesn't need love, and thus it is void of compassion. Without compassion, there is isolation. Without compassion for others, there is no understanding of love's power. Here, fear grows, and competition, rather than loving cooperation, is seen as a solution to the world's problems. In the ignorance of arrogance, we believe love has no transcendent power to live beyond the physical situation of the moment. Fear believes love can die. In fear, a person feels without agency and power to assert solutions, and then blame is the outcome of this because without love's power, one is dependent on others to solve problems. Blame steals a person's understanding of personal power to create love's impact. So what creates distractions from love's greater context? Some religions talk about sin and having a victory over sin. In the Spanish language, when you say sin, you are saying the English word without. I think of sin as whatever is without love. Sin is not a loss of love. It is a distraction from love. Love cannot be overpowered by sin. Sin appears when love is present. Sin disappears when love is present. It's like light that enters darkness. When love enters, sin disappears. Imagining the world without love would, of course, bring fear. Sin is a placeholder. It's a placeholder for the idea of absence. Let go of thinking that there is a power in what is only a distraction from love's reality. Love's power is infinite, and it's able to go wherever it is allowed to go, wherever we put it. In love's powerful yet humble state of mind, the idea of sin and blame are transcended. When we are humble, we admit we don't know everything, and we trust love. We become willing and able to see the possibility to love in every situation. Where do you have to let go of what you see through eyes of fear? Grab on to the courage that comes from trusting love and see love at work through you. Opening to love fills us with the power of compassion and the truth of our united connection, the most powerful ingredients for solutions to the world's problems. Anyone or anything creating fear and blame is not to be trusted as a leader or as a guide. People often seek someone or something to rescue them, but wisdom shows us that we have already been given what we seek. Ignorance and fear distract us from the possibilities that love wants to bring into the world around us and through us. Are we willing to let go of fears and separation and embrace our interdependence, even with people that we don't like? We are interdependent with the lives of all creatures. Do we realize that we live within the perfect operating system of Mother Nature? Long before humans were on this earth, and probably for long after we are gone, the powerful creations of Mother Nature transcend everything that we think we know. Love creates life. Sometimes we forget our connection to the unity of all life, but that's because we are distracted by illusions, and distractions are normal. But when this happens, return to an understanding through a lens of love. Know that love's divine power is the lifeblood to all life, giving us the peaceful power to fulfill all that is a loving desire and a loving intention. By letting go of what is not love, we let go of fear's distractions. To have lasting impact and greater wisdom, intend to see everything through a lens of unconditional love. This intention allows love's power and wisdom to be revealed to and through you, increasing your impact in the world, no matter the circumstance that you're in. This intention expands our sense of ourselves. It opens our minds and lives to go beyond limited positions and limited beliefs. Love protects us from any ignorance, and we can have the wisdom to know what to do and what to think, even before the physical information and evidence are apparent. Love's truth shows us the power of unity that we are each made from and embedded into. It is the power beyond the human understanding, the power of all the wisdom of life, of which we are each an extension and manifestation of. We have access to this power. We are made of this power. We experience it when we surrender to the power of love that transcends our brain's limited understanding. Surrender limiting beliefs and positions, doubts and unhealthy emotional attachments in order to allow love's wisdom to fill your mind. Once understood, only oneself can limit the expression of this greater context to and through one's life. Let's live our lives with the power that comes in recognizing we are citizens of this whole world of life, meaning we each bring love's possibilities into this whole world. Transcend the idea that you can only impact what you see in front of you. You can't see what love is, but you do know it is in you. When your heart shows you a step to take, use love's courage and take the step. Each step of love transforms us and lets us transcend our previous understandings. With each step, love's power grows stronger within us. The more aware that we are of love, the more possibilities we comprehend, and the more confidently we can trust love. We just have to keep pushing our minds to walk in the safety of what transformation brings us. Transcendence beyond anything holding us back from love. Will you choose fear and anxiety, Or will you choose to trust love's transforming power and safety in the amazing things love can do through you? You are needed. Love does not contain fear. When we sense fear, it is a sign that we have just clouded our senses. When we experience a difficult situation and we don't see what love is doing or creating from an elevated or expanded context, then we experience fear. And often this is because the situation is not unfolding in the way that we wished or expected. But this just means that the context is beyond our brain's understanding at the time. Be humble and realize that the bigger picture is more than we can currently comprehend. Connect to the greater paradigm where love is infinite, love is intelligent, and love is always in action. Tap into this and let it soothe your brain. We have heaven on earth when we are in a state of pure love. We are reminded of this by the glimpses that we see of our true selves and our loving, united consciousness of love. The more love that we manifest into the world, the more we transform ourselves. We are created with love. We are in this world to create this world. And only love creates what's lasting. We can only feel true purpose to the degree that we trust love to be our guide, to be our strength, and to be our wisdom. We have to trust the value and the power of love's manifestation as we operate in unity with the love that's all around us. When we do this, we can trust that our lives are bringing love's creations into the world, whether we can see it or not. If you liked this video, please click on the like button and subscribe and turn on your notification bell if you would like to see more videos about love's power, about nature, about relationships, and about communication skills. It is free to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Welcome.